The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello, we're back for another lap of the track. You can find this one in your podcast app. It's also on YouTube as well. This show is brought to you with Levi Solicitors, this latest Square Ball update. Michael, what have you got for me?
Do you want to know about lasting powers of attorney again?
Why not? I can never get enough of that.
Do you know what the two types are?
Yeah.
There's powers.
I know.
Go on then.
No, I'm testing to see if you know.
Right, well, it's right in front of me.
Right.
Property and financial affairs. That's one. That's sort of two in it, but that's one. And the second one is health and welfare, which is also two.
I like
four lasting powers of attorney.
What
Big
I like
four.
is I like how you deliver it with such clarity.
Big two. The two or it's two or four, or you can just have one, or between 1 and 3 or 4 you can have.
Right.
Speak to Levi about it.
They'll explain it a lot better.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, that's great. So, what are lasting powers of attorney?
It's an important legal document which allows you to nominate who you want to make a decision for you. Should you lose the capacity to make decisions for yourself?
Right, excellent. Oh, thank you for that.
Are you close to that, Michael? Oh.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Some days.
Can hear your brain slowly
Listen,
melting.
it's this, or I deliver it in Turkish from Arsenal Fan TV style, and I start threatening people
Yeah, if
on
you're
a
not
sponsorship read.
if you've not caught that yet, have you heard that yet?
I've not,
Rob?
actually, no.
It's on propaganda.
Yes.
Was it be on Wednesday's propaganda? Yeah, it was. The Arsenal Fan TV gadget just delivered the most aggressive read imaginable. Didn't he? It's like
Basically saying you need an IP because you need to hide your IP address if you're going to leave comments in here. So get this VPN. It's like, oh bloody hell.
we are confusing sponsor messages now.
This is true.
Yeah, so let's not. Levi's probably won't threaten you.
No, I don't want to say so.
They're really nice people, to be honest, aren't they? Full details, terms on the website, which is levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Or if you call them, do it the old-fashioned way, just tell them that we sent you. Down here with
terrifying speaking to people on the phone.
Yeah, fuck that. Just text them.
down here with Michael and with Rob. It's the latest roundup, and it's Owl versus Peacock on Sunday at Ellen Road. Which bird will triumph?
The owls are more aggressive, you have to say. If it was purely on animals, I'd probably fancy the owl.
Peacocks are bigger though, aren't they?
True.
And they look cooler.
Get some big owls though.
Oh, really?
You ever been to a?
You
ever been
taken one in?
I know a cracking owl sanctuary, etc. No, they can be pretty big.
Okay.
We are recording ahead of Daniel Farke's press conference on Friday. What will he say in that then?
Michael?
We will not sleep. He was talking about
Transfers.
Transfer. He won't say. People ask him about particular players. He'll refuse to answer. He'll say, we won't sleep.
Will
That
he?
was the phrase he kept using.
What will he say?
Say it like that. He'll probably back Melier because there'll be questions about that. Whether or not he backs him and then plays Darlow anyway.
I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine with that too. No, he's throw him under the bus, but at the same time, do play Carl Darlow.
Don't throw him under the bus. Throw him onto the bench.
Exactly.
Yeah, his throwing under the bus tends to happen after the event, doesn't it? It tends to be after the game when he'll say, "Yes, I decided to do this," but ahead of time he won't. He won't mention it.
Wait for Darlow to make a fuck up and then just go, what do you want me to do? Have you seen the state of them both?
Hound him out.
Maybe, well, you're going to sign a goalkeeper? No, we don't need to sign anyone. But Daniel, please. Yeah, I don't think he won't say much. Probably the only thing would be if there's any new injury news. But
who's your guess? Bamford's already injured, isn't he?
Yeah, Verba.
We're monitoring Junior because he's just on his way back.
Yeah.
Sam Byram's got a knock.
Schmidt's got a pretty bad injury history, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Had to play.
Strouk's been injured a bit recently.
Rodon will have banged his head.
Yeah, that's a given.
Verba stuff.
Yeah. Was Verba injured for the last game? Or was he on the bench? I can't
He snuck
remember.
onto the bench, didn't he?
Did he? Just sneaking out like a little rat.
There'll
Scurrying under the bench.
There'll no doubt be a little bit of love for the outgoing loanees as well. Charlie Crew and Joe Gelhart, who's gone to Hull. Michael, do you want to repeat the contents of your blue skeet, whatever it was, your blue sky tweet thing?
I can't remember the exact word.
But
it only struck me when I was looking at Joe's Instagram and there was a picture of him in a Hull kit and I thought, I can't even say Joe in Hull, can I? Joe's on learn, getting some girls at the Tigers.
Right.
Poor lad.
Yeah, good luck to him. Good luck to
Yeah.
him. Hope it works for him.
Me too, really.
I'd love Joffrey to be good. I'd have preferred it at Leeds, but I feel like that ship might have sailed.
Yeah.
Lunchtime kickoff on Sunday. You looking forward to that?
No.
12 p.m.'s rubbish, isn't it?
Really early.
I mean, like if you're West Coast of America, 4 a.m., East Coast of America, 7 a.m. That's ridiculous, isn't
If
it?
you're West Coast of England, it's 12.
Yeah. Which
If you're on the East Coast of England, it's 12.
It still feels stupid though.
Or if you're in the central time zone,
yeah.
it's still 12.
Right. It still feels silly to me just 12 o'clock on a Sunday. It'll be flat as a fart as a result of that.
Yeah, it really will.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be, even if you live locally, you're leaving your house at like 10 for this, aren't you, given traffic and stuff around the ground?
No drinking time beforehand. Well, I suppose there is, but it's just a bit bleak.
Yeah, you're getting into proper tramp territory there, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I'm willing to try it.
I was going to say, it's really just
Not for the first time.
A test of your commitment, isn't it?
Where
Whether or not
Michael's
there's drinking time.
Yeah.
You were saying, Dan, some internet rumour that the Millwall Cup game's going to be at 6 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was someone on Whack, I think, who cited a mate who was a Millwall mate who'd had a steer on it, but that sounds like fucking pandemonium.
That does sound like a catastrophic choice. They're almost trying to maximise drinking time there. It's like, and it's late enough that you can get really pissed, but early enough that there'll still be trains, so there's not really any inconvenience for people.
Mm-hmm.
They won't bring many, though, will they? They never do these days.
They don't, but that's because there's been restrictions on tickets, and it tends to have been at shit times and stuff. For 6 o'clock on a Saturday, you might be like, "Well, get in." I know at the because they played Dagenham, didn't they, in the cup? There were apparently quite a few West Ham fans in the Dagenham.
Oh, really?
In the Dagenham end, giving grief.
We're gonna have to flush out hammers on a Saturday at 6 p.m.
So I don't know. I assume Dagenham and West Ham are close. They had Dagenham Motors on the shirts, didn't they, for a while? So I'm going to assume they're connected in some way. But yeah, I don't think we'll probably have that problem at Leeds.
Yeah, I wonder if this rumour has originated with TNT Sports, who are broadcasting some of it over here. I think, do they have some of the rights? It's split very widely, isn't it? As the FA Cup TV coverage, because they've got all fourth round fixtures listed for 6 p.m. on Saturday on their website. That's all of them. So it's possibly just that it's not been allocated yet.
Okay, that feels more likely. So it's actually going to be
probably going to be noon on Sunday,
a Thursday night or an early kickoff or something.
It feels like a noon on Sunday thing, or it could be maybe it is the Friday night or something like that. If it's
not yet had a noon on Sunday until this week, have we? I was looking down some of our kickoff times, and we've had 17:45 on a Saturday and on a Sunday. We've had a 12:30 on a Saturday. We've had a 13:30 on a Saturday. It's great, isn't it? This new TV deal that the Championship have done.
Yeah, I did work out that we've only had 7 3 p.m. Saturday kickoffs so far this season, which is just over a quarter of our fixtures, 27% of our fixtures.
Goes back to that thing as well of, does anyone actually want this? Does anyone want to watch Leeds v fucking Sheffield Wednesday at midday on a Sunday? Not really.
A lot of it is just caused by the TV blackout.
Yeah, it's daft.
The Saturday 3 p.m. blackout. As soon as they lift that, which has to be an inevitability now, surely it's going to get lifted, then it will allow them to show loads of stuff at a far more civil hour. And hopefully we will not constantly be playing at lunchtime.
The way they get out of it is probably by offering to give some Premier League money to like non-league teams who will be saying, "Oh well, if it'll affect the attendance of, Ossett United if all the Premier League games are available at the same time."
So I have 20 quid a season.
Exactly. That'll be. I'll play some. We're going to introduce another new competition where it's called like the Under-18s Premier League Reserves Cup or something, where teams from the Northern Premier get to play the Under-18s of Premier League teams or something. It's going to be at secret venues that no one knows about.
We won't tell anyone about it.
Well,
like that daft thing we're in at the moment.
As it stands, we have to play the ball as it lies. So it's noon on Sunday. It's Sheffield Wednesday.
There's a new magazine out.
There's a new magazine out.
We don't have one to hold up yet.
No. But it is beautiful.
But it does have a magnificent cover.
The cover is amazing.
Chris Moran has done that. And yeah, I think it's one of our finest.
And hopefully we'll be able to put that on the video version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't got the print copy of it, but we can use the graphic. And it's, Tony Yeboah cover. And I already want this on my bedroom wall, which I'm sure my wife will.
How can I say, how successful do you think that will be?
No, it's better than Live, Laugh, Love. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It'd be better than something like that. But I feel like my chances are slim. Very slim there to get that one through.
But it is a celebration of Yeboah 30 years on from him joining in January 1995. Imagine that, signing a striker as good as Tony Yeboah in January.
He is. He's probably my favourite striker of all time, just about.
Yeah.
I think.
It's weird, isn't it? Because he didn't score many goals.
No.
Well, he did for how long he was here. But, in overall terms, really didn't notch that many. But bloody hell, they were good.
He's such a good player. Such a good player.
He made the most of his time here, I think it's fair to say. I've interviewed Tony Yeboah for it about his former teammate, and I was sort of going through the start of the 95-96 season. And basically in 43 days, he scores like any other striker's career highlight reel. It's outrageous. He starts with a double at West Ham where he nearly breaks the net.
That volley is just amazing. That itself is probably goal of the season. Maybe it won't win it, but it'd certainly be in the top 4 or 5, wouldn't it?
And then 2 days later, it's the volley against Liverpool. I think it's 2 weeks after that.
Which, by the way, can I just say, I've written about the white kit in the context of that. I don't normally write stuff, so
it's very good as well.
Be kind on me.
No, I've only changed half of it. No, it's great. And then 2 weeks after that goal, I think it's the hat trick in Monaco. 10 days after that, I think it's the hat trick against Wimbledon.
Ridiculous.
Nearly breaks the net there. And then a couple of days after that, or a week after that, he scores a brilliant goal against Sheffield Wednesday, actually. And that's the end of the 43 days, but that's where he cuts in from the left, beats about 4 players. And for Tony Yeboah, it's a very tame finish into the bottom corner, but he still hits it from about 25 yards. And then after that, I think it was Howard Wilkinson who just has run out of things to say about how brilliant he is. Just went, it was a good one, wasn't it?
And it was. I'd almost forgotten that Sheffield Wednesday goal in the lexicon of his goals. As you say, he didn't score that many overall. 24 goals in 47 appearances, but it's still a 1 in 2 rate. And most of them were just absolute bangers, like even the Man United goals as well. That Sheffield Wednesday one sticks in my mind though for the kit clash, which is wild. Do you remember this? So Sheffield Wednesday had a kit with blue panels down the side and a big white panel down the middle, and they wore it at Ellen Road, just a massive body of white in the middle.
Oh, I can't remember. Can't remember.
But
I do remember the shirt, but I don't remember it being a clash particularly.
It's not. This is it. You can tell them apart. And you'll be able to tell them apart on the field, but in this day and age, there's no way that they'd get away with it. It's funny. Just funny, these little things that stick in your mind. But yeah, I've written about the white kit from that season and how it probably deserved better because of his goals in the early part of the season, and then obviously the latter part of the season was Wembley against Villa.
He scored a lot of those goals while being strangled as well. With that, because of the colour of that kit, it was very uncomfortable.
That's what I wrote about. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's the only thing that stopped the kit being a stone cold 10 out of 10 banger all timer was the collar, which it just basically constricted your Adam's apple.
I think it looks great, the collar, but it's just incredibly uncomfortable to wear. Like I got one of those shirts off eBay recently, but it's like far too big for me. Like a medium back then is like a double XL now.
Dart player in it.
But then, the collar is incredibly uncomfortable, so it's just been basically thrown in my wardrobe, never to be seen.
Yeah, I'd quite happily sit here and talk about Tony Yeboah some more if you want to.
Go on then.
Good one. It was just so good. He's the most natural striker. Was it Tony Dorigo when we were chatting to him in the last appearance on the show, when he was saying that good strikers, and it might have been in the context of talking about Matteo Joseph's composure, maybe, where we were saying that good strikers, when they get the ball, the game almost seems to slow down. And that's exactly what Yeboah had. Yeboah just existed on his own plane. It was just like wizardry with his feet. He was just such natural talent. And even when it looked like, in the case of like the Wimbledon one, the ball was never under his control, it just kept coming back to him. And he did that so often. Well,
I found a quote from Dorigo from back in the 90s. I think Yeboah had scored another hat-trick against Ipswich and Dorigo had created the third goal. There's a quote from Dorigo at the time saying, whenever he's in front of goal, I'm sort of screaming at him, shoot, 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 because he's just so relaxed, but it's just like time stops and then he just knocks it in.
Yeah.
I remember the Ipswich game for being, we were 4 up at half time and thinking they'd lost to Scum 9-0, thinking we could get 9-0 here. It never happened. Stayed the same.
But yeah, Tony Yeboah.
Someone's going to tell me I misremembered that now. I mean, it was actually 4-0 shortly after half time. I remember being 4-0 up early anyway and being like, we're gonna get 9.
But what a footballer. It's probably my all-time favourite and best striker that I've seen in my lifetime anyway.
It's definitely the best. I mean, for the goals he scored and the range of them as well. There's a full compilation of all of his goals, and you remember obviously the ones that he twats in, but there are ones where he dinks it over keepers. There are headers, left foot, right foot. He's left-footed. You've got to bear that in mind as well. I mean, how hard can you hit a ball with your left foot? I can barely pass it. I'm not comfortable really passing it more than about 5 yards. And he's just twatting it off the crossbar with his weak foot.
Mad, isn't it? The only modern comparison I can give is, like Rafinha sometimes seemed to have that otherworldly quality about him. Just a talent beyond. And you've seen it happen now, I suppose, when he's playing for Barcelona. It's the same as that to me in my mind. It's the same feeling, same relationship to the player. Which
is insane because, I mean, he'd been top goal scorer in the Bundesliga 2 years in a row, and he joined Leeds and nobody really knew anything about him. Like, Wilkinson had never seen him in the flesh. Dorigo didn't really know anything about him. He said they were having to quickly look him up, and then it was when they saw him in training, and it was immediately like, oh, wow, we have got a really, really good footballer here.
Yeah, safe to say he preserved his energy though.
Yes,
that's one of the little themes that comes out of it as well. He saved it for the big moments.
Yeah, years ago when we spoke to Alan Sutton, he said that, didn't he, as well? Because he was obviously in charge of trying to G him up and make him do some fitness stuff. And
so Alan Sutton being the former physio.
Yeah, he was. Tony was very relaxed in pre-season, I would say.
So look out for that then. That's going to be on sale. Oh, nice and early. The fanzine outside the stadium.
From
Sunday morning.
9 o'clock or something stupid down at Lowfields. We've got a few more calendars as well. If people asked about those, there are some for sale on the website. I will have some with me at the Lowfields Tunnel because I know a few people missed out and were asking about them.
Yeah, so you can also get the mag online as well on the website. And if you're a TSB Plus member, you can read that digital copy of that for free on the website as well. So, to the actual Sheffield Wednesday game itself. And they appear to be riding higher, thanks to Danny Roll, than we thought they would, I would say. Is that fair to say?
Well, pre-season, a lot of their fans thought they might push for playoffs, which ultimately they are doing, I suppose, because they're only a few points off.
Currently 10th, by the way, on 37 points, and
it's very congested.
4 points off the
4 points. It's very congested there, though, isn't it? In that bit of the table.
Yeah,
a -2 goal difference. I noticed. I think they've got the worst defence in the top half. So let's go stick a load of goals past them because I don't like how smug they are about Danny Roll.
Yeah, they've conceded 40, so they've conceded twice as many goals as us.
Having a look at their forums this morning, the smugness, it seems to be well and truly gone. They're actually at the point where some of them are suggesting he should resign.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're just hugely unhappy with Chansiri. They had a fans forum, I think, was it last night or the night before?
It was last night.
And it's gone quite badly wrong. This fans forum.
It's very Batesy, isn't it? The whole...
Yeah.
I mean, it reminded me of the Chilino press conference with Hockaday and the mute Junior Lewis, but they invited fans to speak to Chansiri, which just seemed like a terrible idea. Albeit in that Chilino presser, didn't a fan sneak in and start shouting at him about why don't we sign Becchio or something?
Oh, I can't remember that.
It was just the general madness of that time. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday taking over from that.
But yeah, they seem to have... Chansiri's done a bit of a boo-hoo, no one respects me, you should all be nicer thing, which can't really do as a club owner, particularly one who's dragged him down to League One. It's very, like I say, it's very Batesy. So he's taken him to new depths, really, and then been like, well, why is no one grateful for the expensive tickets and the fact we're not spending any money on footballers? And part of what emerged as well was that Southampton apparently wanted to speak to Danny Roll. He suggested he wanted to actually go, but they couldn't agree terms. So he's kind of outed all this. Then
Chansiri has. Right, good move.
And then during this fans forum, he's received a phone call from Southampton saying they are recalling Shea Charles, who appears to be Sheffield Wednesday's best player this season.
He's on loan,
and he's on loan from Southampton, and he's right at the deadline, and they've gone, actually, we'll have him back.
Yeah, it was about a minute before the deadline. It was hilarious seeing it on Twitter last night because there was a journalist there, and he was tweeting very late on. A rare bit of good news. Chansiri said Shea Charles is going to stay, and then 7 minutes later, he says, Chansiri's taken a phone call, come back in the room and said, oh, no, wait, he's been recalled. But yeah, I think it was about a minute before the deadline that they could recall him. Albeit it sounds like he can play this weekend.
Potentially. Yeah. Although
would you be surprised?
Yeah, they've said, I think you might actually be injured. You probably want to get yourself back here. So I don't know. We'll see.
Can't play. I need to drive down when the road works.
That's true. It is a long way.
Reasons.
So it's not looking like a happy camp, which is quite good.
Has it got to the sort of tear it all down nihilism stage?
Pretty much, yeah.
With the fans, I mean.
Yes,
yeah.
that was the gist. There are, as there is with any club under bad ownership, there are a few voices out there going, "Oh, I think he's all right." Actually, in the same way as you got people apologising for Bates after when you're still into your 8th year of it being completely shit, and they're going, "Oh, well, he saved the club." You're thinking, well, yeah, but even if you believe that, still time to fuck off, eh? Someone put a little checklist together of what was said. Sign out, sabotage season, throw Roland under bus, send our best player packing, ruin chance of future loans, blame fans for everything, talking riddles, stroke contradictions with a little tick after each one of them.
Yeah.
So that's what they're coming into this game on the back of. I am slightly mindful of the fact that we came into that Huddersfield game all those years ago with it in a complete shit show and scored 5.
Of course, yeah. They don't have Ross McCormack, though, do they?
That is true.
I mean, there's no doubting we should win this.
We should.
In the abstract.
Correct.
It was a real stinker of a game, wasn't it, last year? Was it like the 0-0 at the start of the season?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But then we've had 2 decent wins at Hillsborough since. Were they both 2-0?
Yeah. The one in at the start of the season was quite... I was watching the goals back. There's that nice counter-attack goal that Aronson scores where Joseph is possibly fouled in the box, but then it falls to Aronson.
Is that the back heel on the wing?
It's there's some nice little interplay on the right hand side, and then there's that really nice Matteo Joseph through ball for Dan James for the second one.
That was when Nonto was brilliant that night, sort of playing deep and almost central. But it's a shame that he's sort of lost his verve since then, because at that time that was when he looked like he was just going to take the piss.
Yeah, the 2 away games against Sheffield Wednesday, we absolutely dominated them last season, and then I'm fairly sure we went into the game earlier this season saying, we probably won't repeat that. It'll be more difficult this time. There's been too much churn because we didn't really know which way the season was going at that point. And then we did kind of just do the same thing again.
It was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, same outcome. So you would hope that we would we'd win this. We shouldn't go into it with any fear, I don't think, other than fear surrounding where this season goes and the fact that we can't really afford to drop points.
Yeah, let's hope they just don't have any shots.
I mean, Josh Windass was scoring from halfway, catching a keeper out the other week. So that does give me a little worry, given our goalkeeping situation.
Is it Josh Windass who's going to Brazil?
Really?
Yeah, you said that he's going to Santos or something.
Josh,
you were clever, which sounds entirely
it does sound
football managery.
You would, though, wouldn't you?
Sounds like the sort of player I'd sign when you randomly take on over a Brazilian team and you go, I'm going to get an English player. Who'll come?
I don't know anyone in this league.
Yeah, the story seems to have gone cold from about a week ago. 2 days ago. No, it's saying they've got no intention of selling him. But yeah, I think it goes back to when he was at Rangers previously, and one of the coaches who was there, a guy called Pedro Caixinha, I think it's pronounced. So that's where they met. They met in Glasgow and they fell in love. Wow. And he was going to go to
run away to Brazil with him.
Yeah, elope to Brazil, but no, it doesn't look like that's happening. But yeah,
Pele, Neymar, and Josh Windass.
I'd love to see Josh Windass play in Brazil. That would be great.
I mean, you would, wouldn't you? He's 31, I think, according to the report I've just read. So the last few years of your career going around at the beach.
Wasn't it in the old Football Manager thing that you sold Michael Bridges to Brazil? Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That does ring a bell, actually, yeah. But where did he go?
It was a team that plays in black and white is all I can remember.
Could be Santos.
Could be Santos then, actually, yeah. Anyway, back to Yorkshire on Sunday. What are we expecting?
A win.
Yeah.
Is it going to follow the pattern, do you think, the usual pattern?
Probably. Most games at Ellen Road do, don't they?
Yeah.
2-0 win again.
Feels like...
I'm guessing Pirot comes back if he's fit.
I was going to say, it feels like the starting 11 is probably almost fixed in his mind now. Farkas, or what he considers to be his best 11.
Who's in midfield? There are options now.
Tanaka and Ampadu. I reckon is probably what he goes for.
Yeah, I think at home there's an argument that Tanaka and Rothwell still have best midfield. Albeit I think we maybe underrate some of Ampadu's passing and play on the ball. And I mean, Farker just loves him as his captain, doesn't he? But yeah, I do wonder if Tanaka and Rothwell have done so well together. Maybe at home we should stick with them. I do think Ampadu's really valuable away from home, but it probably will be Ampadu.
Who's got the best hair if we're looking to intimidate Barry Bannon?
Right.
Rothwell's hair is very good, isn't it?
Quite
very
dense.
thick.
I mean, Isaac Schmidt.
Yeah.
Lots, but strong hair game.
Not going to be against each other as such.
You could man mark him
just for the sake of it, just
to get in his head,
just for the contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
just to get in his head about the hair.
And Burnley or Sunderland will drop points ahead of this game.
Is that because they're playing each
That's
other?
because they're playing each other.
Right.
They're playing each other tomorrow night, so that'll be nice.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
They can't both win. And well, Sheffield United are playing Norwich, who were good at certain points, but that obvious prick has been done for spitting, hasn't he? So
Still got your mate though, Josh Sargent. up
Josh,
front.
big old Josh, yeah. For what it's worth.
That prick's been done for spitting. It took me a second. What's the best result out of Burnley Sunderland then? Is it a draw maybe? Probably given how tight things are up there. Both teams dropping points.
I feel like a Sunderland win might actually be the best.
Anything where Burnley drop points, I think, would be good.
Yeah. I think is draw probably optimal and then Sunderland win after that?
Probably. Although I kind of suspect Burnley have got a bit more staying power, so I wouldn't mind them dropping points.
It's hard to know, isn't it, how you play the different scenarios out. But they've only lost 2 games of Burnley, so it'd be nice to get them up onto 3 like we are.
I'm just looking at the other
So
fixtures.
we can be the best.
From a propaganda point of view, it's good news because it's Cardiff Swansea.
Right.
So that should produce a bit of something for us.
Have we got any other significant matches across the weekend that we need to concern ourselves with?
It's a load of Champo rubbish, isn't it? The rest of it.
Don't bother looking, to be honest.
It's only really the teams at the top that we care about. So, I mean, Luton, Preston, it's fine.
Not bothered.
Good luck to them.
No.
I hope they both do very well. But no, we don't really need to look beyond the top 4, do we? It's kind of the same as it was last year when it became that same pattern, didn't it? That it broke in a way. I'm not worried about us not being in the playoffs. So just the top teams.
I would say we'll need to worry about ourselves, don't we? But obviously you can't distract yourself completely from a game where they play each other like they do this weekend. Yeah, that will be an interesting one. We'll see how that one goes. Will you watch Burnley versus Sunderland?
Might do.
Absolutely not.
No.
It depends. Depends if I get a better offer.
Right.
I might get invited to a celebrity party.
Will you? By who?
By accident?
Jane McDonald.
Right.
She might be having a do.
She's from Wakefield, isn't
Yep.
she? Yeah.
Or one of the people from Black Lace.
Right.
Billy Pearce.
Painting quite the lifestyle here. A picture of your
Struggling
lifestyle.
to think of many other people. Anyway, lots of options for me. Or I might watch that.
Right.
Or Slow Horses, which I'm also watching.
I'm watching Slow Horses as well at the minute.
It's good. It's probably better than that game will be, actually.
Whereabouts are you in it? Season
4.
Oh, I'm on season. I've started season 2.
And that's the thing, you've got to remember, you don't have to watch the football. You can watch something that you
The
enjoy.
thing is, though, you know it's going on. You know it's going on.
It's fine. That's what phones are for now.
We're not at the stage of the season now where I can't take my eyes off it.
Right.
I can sort of accept there's going to be a result and it's fine. I'll come to terms with it at this stage. It's when it gets later in the season and like you end up watching all the Burnley games because you're trying to avoid relegation and you're just driving yourself mad with it.
I suspect you could probably just end up watching the last 20 minutes of this just to get a general feel for it.
It's probably going to be 1-0 Burnley, isn't it?
They all are.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just going to assume it's that.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument if you're like flirting with danger, and this is where you start like computing out all the different scenarios, that you want Burnley to win and put Sunderland a bit further away, then trust yourself to get the job done. That's scary, isn't it?
Do you trust Leeds?
No, Rob, I do not. No, I do not. Do you want to make any predictions on this or just hope for the best?
I think we'll win. I do think we'll win.
2-0 Leeds.
Nice, comfortable homing. So you do want to make a prediction. All right, fair enough. We'll see. We'll be back with the match ball after that one. And what we've got coming up before that, nothing really, apart from the members show.
Yeah, because this is out on. I'm confused about the West Stand, but yeah, we've switched the order, haven't we, this week? You shouldn't have done that to me.
It was you who suggested it.
Yeah, it was, wasn't
it? Yeah. We've got your quiz. There's a quiz there's a quiz on the members show talking about FA Cup games.
FA Cup goal scorers.
Yeah. So which we're going to record the final part of in a second, Rob. So there's your little spoiler alert. So we'll go away and do that and look out.
We're going to be quizzing Rob on some stuff that happened before he was born.
Great.
Unlucky Rob.
Gives me a chance of actually winning a quiz for once. And before we do dash off and record all that, we need to do heroes and villains, don't we? It's part of the weekly show. What are your likes and dislikes from the last 7 days? Filter them, pass them, and pick first of all, a Ken Bates villain of the week, and then second of all, a Gaetano Berardi hero of the week.
Hard to be too bothered about that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've already sort of forgotten. In fact, I wasn't actually there because I went to see a lad I used to go to school with wrestling in a old converted church in Leeds, Left Bank, which is around the corner from the Brudenell Social Club. And he was in a Royal Rumble. He's a Leeds fan. I actually interviewed him for a story in the magazine a year or so ago when he was at the Battle of Belle Isle and he came out in a Leeds shirt, and it was one of the strangest afternoons of my life. But he was in a Royal Rumble the other night and he won, and it was genuinely amazing.
That sounds more entertaining than
It was
Burnley versus Sunderland.
It was a very wise choice. I was like, I could go watch Leeds Harrogate in the absolute freezing cold, or I could just go watch a load of wrestlers,
Some men
in a
grappling
church
with each other. Yeah.
while everyone's levered. It was great.
What would your wrestling name be, Michael?
I don't think I'm up for it.
No, just not. You're gonna tap out
I think so. Yeah.
before you even get there.
That
Yeah.
could be like your character, though, couldn't it? Just like the broken middle-aged man with
The
a bad
coward.
back. Yeah.
Mind you, wrestlers do put themselves. In fact, once you speak to wrestlers, they'll probably just pump me full of morphine or something. Won't they? Send me out. 'Cause
Right.
they all do it injured as fuck, don't they? So it's probably fine.
Actually.
It might actually be easier.
Right. Just absolutely doped up like a
Just
racehorse.
completely full of steroids and not suggesting you make take steroids.
He is a big lad.
Probably can't afford them at the lower level, you know.
Mm.
Still,
Would you have a signature move, do you think?
No,
Would you jump off the top ropes, maybe?
maybe carefully.
Would you
Probably just get a small step ladder.
Right.
Safer.
Health and safety first.
Safety first.
Would you maybe, I don't know, decorate? So, like, you remember, like, what was his name? Ultimate Warrior, who used to
Mm.
be in WWE or WWF as it was prior to that. And he had, like, ropes around his arms. What would you go for? Any sort of decoration?
I'd have to just do with stuff from the office.
Right.
That's what I normally
Cable
wear.
ties.
Yeah, cable ties.
Some post office bags.
Yeah, actually, yeah, nice merch man.
Right.
It's not great, is it?
It's not strong, but you know what? I'd pay to see it.
Anyway, heroes and villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? What was good?
Do we give Chansiri a hero nomination? We liked his work,
It's sabotage.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Villains.
Us, we've been nominated, by the way. Rob sent an email in. Not this Rob, different Rob. Objecting to us moaning about day trippers at Ellen Road. It wasn't directed at you, Rob. We like you and your offspring.
Yeah. We have actually talked about this on the member show this week.
Yeah,
haven't
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be belittling.
No,
It was just
what we don't
You
like
just
is
pricks.
No, we're saying essentially what it is we like our own bad opinions and we are familiar with the bad opinions of those around us. What we don't want is new people coming in with new bad opinions.
That's basically it. And I think one of the people near me was
Kamal.
I think one of the people near me was a Villa fan as well. It was with his mates, and it irked me
That's a proper day tripper.
that he'd been brought along. And I thought, your mate shouldn't have allowed this.
Yeah,
they should have said, you can come, but you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
you don't talk at all.
That links to the new mag. We've got our agony aunt, some idiot called Problem Chimp, is giving advice on how to deal with fans of opposition teams, specifically Scum, when they pretend to take a liking to Leeds and what we should do with them.
Sage advice.
Throw them in the river.
It's an option.
Right. Look forward to reading that.
So us villains.
Us for being entitled pricks.
Yeah, Villa fans for coming into Ellen Road. If he was a Villa fan, I could only pick up bits of the conversation. I was trying to ignore it. We didn't see the game on telly, obviously, because we were there, but the commentary of Pearson Warnock apparently was not good, but we could have probably predicted that. Martin nominates a hero and a villain. The hero, the thing he liked, was finally getting to see Schmidt start. The thing he disliked, finally getting to see Gilavogi start.
Yeah, don't ruin your legacy.
He's such a nice guy, but a little bit sluggish at points.
He's been, and see, he was linked to a transfer, wasn't he? In this window by somebody.
Gilavogi?
Yeah, he was linked to Paris FC, which I think is another Red Bull orbit club. Yeah. Not PSG.
Are they going to pay like $8 million for him?
Yeah, imagine that.
As a
we'll give
a financial fair play workaround.
£30 million. 30 million.
That seems all right.
It's fair, isn't
it? Kicking Tanaka's nominates his own child, 5-year-old who he took to the Harrogate game, who minutes before kickoff uttered the spine-chilling words, "Daddy, I need a poo."
Oh God!
Not the Allen Road toilets.
Yeah, he was saying that in 2 games.
How is the therapy going?
He's managed to do what he has avoided in 25 years, an Ellen Road poo, which is understandable.
I've had to before.
I do have. Well, look, I agree with Luca B. I do have objections to the weather that was bestowed upon us for the fixture. It's a lot milder now. It should be worth saying. Like temperatures up towards sort of like 8, 9, 10-ish.
Not anyone off the weekend. 3.
Right. Is it dropping again?
Dropping again.
But it was really cold. It was about -3, -4, something like that in Ellen Road. And by the end of that game, it felt like it. A layering system, absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
Good shout from Ben, actually, nominating the club for playing I Predict a Riot at full time of a 1-0 win over a 4th Division team in the FA Cup.
What would have been a more appropriate song to play at the conclusion of a victory against Harrogate, do you think?
Just whatever's next. Let the algorithm decide.
Right.
Stick Spotify on.
Stick to the Kaiser Chiefs. Every day I love you less and less, maybe.
I was filtering out the ground because I was cold. I'd kind of left, because I'm towards the back of the Cup, I'd left 5 minutes before the end, like to walk down to the exit. So I saw all the game, didn't fully yod at it. But then left immediately when the full time whistle went, and I was kind of leaving the stadium as I could. I Predict a Riot, and I did think, lads, come on.
Oh yeah, right.
There's no one rioted in there. Absolutely no one.
I imagine in Harrogate there's going to be quite a lot of like smooth FM listeners. So maybe something like Desiree would have
Is that
worked.
what you think of Harrogate? Do you think posh people like Desiree?
No, but like you're listening to inoffensive middle of the road radio, which is exactly what smooth is. It's just background, it's wallpaper music.
Could have put a Radio 4 play on or something.
Right. Yeah.
That might have been nice. The Archers theme tune. Should have gone with that.
Good shout. So what are we going for then as villain of the week?
Welland Road toilets.
Yeah.
Oh, in that cold. Imagine having to sit on one of those. It's like a prison style seat, isn't it?
Yeah, the ones in the I remember the ones in the East Stand, because I'd never seen anything before like it as a kid. They used to have, it was like a metal prison toilet with bits of wood kind of bolted on, so it's not really a seat. Yeah. It's just a bit of wood bolt that's covered in piss that you can sit on if you like. I don't know what they're like now. I've not been in the East Stand in years, but it was a distinct memory of that as a kid, being like, "Oh, that's not really a toilet seat, is it?"
All right.
Should we just give it to Jonathan Pearce
again?
It feels like he usually deserves it.
He got it last year for the Plymouth commentary, didn't he? I'm fairly sure.
Possibly, yeah.
As if Leeds in the FA Cup isn't bad enough.
Oh, actually, who pulled the ball out was better to play fucking Millwall? Because that's a shit draw. It's probably Martin Keown.
It was probably Martin Keown. Yeah, let's
give it to Martin Keown.
I was watching it as well and I can't even remember, so let's just say Martin Keown.
Fine, well done. Yeah.
Fine.
Right, time to pivot into the Gitano Berardi Hero of the Week, sponsored by the tuktukclub.com. TSB 15 for a 15% discount on your booking. Tuk Tuk Tours of Northern Thailand. 2025 nearly full, by the way. So get on that quick. And rapidly filling up and booked for 2026.
When you say they're nearly full for 2025, can I check how they're tied into a deal? Because I do not want them pulling this sponsorship because it's booked up, just because we've done such a good job of the reads.
Right. I'll have to go back to...
book for further in the future anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to, isn't it? You'd look forward to it, wouldn't you, Dan, if you think, even if it was a couple of years ago away, you'd be looking forward to that, wouldn't you?
If I could get the time off for good behaviour, I would be there in a shot.
Exactly.
You're looking for romance, Michael? Because you could find it there.
Go on.
With the Tuk Tuk Club. So recently there was a couple who got engaged in the middle of a trip, which is beautiful, isn't it? Romance is alive and well in northern Thailand. They got engaged at it's called Fern Resort, which is supposed to be...
That's called Phone Resort.
Right. Which is supposed to be stunning. And Bruce, who's the Leeds fan who runs Tuk Tuk Club, says that's where Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie used to hang out. So you can feel like a Hollywood star. Look at that.
Wow. There you go. And that ended well for them.
Yeah. So you can get involved in a really embittered divorce further down the line. But enjoy the romance bit at the start. That's the important bit. And let's pick ourselves a hero of the week.
I mean, Schmidt was all right, wasn't he?
He was fine, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was fine. He looks like an adequate fullback.
Are we damning him with faint praise there?
Nice to see that he exists.
Yeah, I think that was it really for me.
He's a right back, apparently.
For now. He can be an injured right back, an injured left back. Depends where you want to allocate him, really. Yeah, but I thought it was nice to see him and see that and hopefully show Farker that he's fine. He's allowed to play him. You don't need to bring on an injured Ampadu at right back.
It's sort of fine for him to just be a reserve though as well, right?
Oh, that's fine
we
too.
We do have them. Like, they do exist.
Yeah.
I don't remember people being this desperate to see Seb Sousa or something like that.
He's just a hipster Mike Whitlow.
It's just the perfect example of the other thing, the thing that we're not seeing being the solution to all the problems until you see it and you go, it's not now.
Oh, Caldalo, actually.
Yeah, falls under that bracket.
He didn't do anything catastrophic, so well done.
I mean, should we give it to Darlow? Because he probably won't play against Sheffield Wednesday, will he?
Yeah, actually, Darlow. It was nice to see to not be as scared of our own goalkeeper.
Maybe they can share it.
Okay,
Darlow and Schmidt.
Fine. It's a poor week to win it.
Right.
They know this.
Yeah.
It's the FA Cup week.
Yeah. It's like when clubs have an internal goal of the month competition and they've only scored like a goal that's in that month.
An own goal.
So it's just a header from 6 yards.
All right, fine. Well done, lads. You've got that. Yeah, back with a match ball after the game on Sunday, and we'll speak to you then.
The Square Ball Podcast.